doing more of the Inktober challenge, and today I'm just showing you some fails I guess. Lately hasn't been the best. I've just been stumbling around, I guess is the best way to describe it. But I included some footage to show you what I'm doing, and then I'm going to slow down like this part right here to show you just how fast I was working, and that's probably why I messed up on this first piece. But also because I showed pin later, but it's kind of like clumped together at the top of this black one and the nib on it because I've been using it for so long, and so that could have been the issue too. So the next one that I did after this one, I tried to slow down a bit and use the same pen, but then I realized the problem. But also the ink I've been using is the same one from a long time ago, so it's really crusted around the edges. And I guess it's just a fellow reminder to take care of your supplies, and if your supplies get crusty, you need to replace them. Lucky for me, I had already bought the other one, so it wasn't that difficult to buy new ink. I was disappointed with the ink at first because it was kind of coming out like really dull compared to how it usually is, and so I basically used the new ink, and it came out a lot better after shaking it up a little bit to get the supplies running. I know on Speedball ink it says right away to shake it up, but I didn't do that at first, so I guess I just need to shake it up, so that's why it was so dull at first. So on day 5 I had to go back over it and darken it a little bit. So while working on this is kind of difficult because of that, but also the past couple days I've been waiting on footage to go in, so it was difficult because of that. And then last week for day 2 that I had up on my channel, it really screwed up and did not upload until Thursday. So that put me in a really bad mood, I guess. So I'm just really behind, and it's day 9. Technically day 10 for me because it's like 1 a.m. Whoops. And I just finished day 5. Oh, that's terrible. But so just a fun reminder to place your tools, and even if you're in a bad spot, if you just keep going, eventually it'll turn out the way you want it. So the first 2 things were going to be their own Inktober things, but then the second one was just me steadying my hand, and the first one was just going to be its own separate day, but then it messed up, so yeah. Tried to steady my hand, and I gave up because the lines on the chin became too bold, and then so I gave up for that day, and then I came back another day. It turned out a lot better after sketching for a little while and just coming back and looking at it. So if you get tired of looking at something, maybe you just need to take a step back. I know I forget to do that frequently, so that's not good at all. But the characters that I've been doing is Hazel, my skeleton girl, is a human. And then as one of the sketches I refined a little bit just to get this wolf character's design down. Now the wolf character is going to be the character that brings back Hazel eventually. That's what I've decided on. I'm kind of bouncing my ideas around, so it's kind of difficult to say what's going on exactly. Basically, Newt brings her back for Annabelle, which is my vampire character. And because I looked up some stories in the Shoshone culture, they have this myth of a wolf that would bring people back to life by shooting an arrow underneath their feet, and they'd come back to life. And that was originally the idea behind it, but then just that's so overdone with like Native American things. And I was talking to my sister about it and what she thought. After she told me what she thought, she was like, why don't you just do a necromancer, because they're also really popular in culture. So that's when it came to This drawing, don't think I've mentioned before, but Star, my sister, she writes, so she's kind of creative, but like she doesn't draw, but she does help me a lot with my characters and sorting them out. And to me, it just helps me when I have a second opinion about my characters and where their stories are going. So if you ever have troubles, just talk to me, I guess, and I'll tell you what I think about your stories, I guess. Because second opinions help a lot. You won't believe how much that's helped me so far, just talking to Star about my characters. You don't really have to talk to me about your characters if you don't want to. It's just out there that if you need help, you don't need to just sit there on your own all the time. And I wouldn't mind helping you at all. It's just up to you whether you want help or not, or if you're stuck. But after talking with Star, I transformed it into a wolf necromancer, basically. So I guess he kind of dabbles in transfiguration and junk like that. I know necromancers originally were from Greece time periods. The outfit, originally, I did not know where I was going with it, but then my sister said when she thinks of necromancers, it's 18th century and things like that, which kind of fits into the narrative of Annabelle and Hazel being from back in the day. So I guess we're kind of coming along to a time period now for these characters. And again, I did include some footage where it's slower than the rest, just how fast I'm going, how slow I'm going, just so like you can see that instead of it just being like behind a camera and you not knowing anything about it. And just so when you're inking, you just kind of know a little bit. It's the story behind him. And then I gave Annabelle's vampire dad a name, and his name's gonna be Jack. And he was very scarred by humans. I'm not exactly sure if Annabelle meets him and he has the scar on his face, or Annabelle meets him without it, and then just through the story it just happens. I'm still working out a lot of concepts, but that's what happens when your challenge relates around creating a story for characters and having a stable theme. And you have to create more and more every single time. I still have 2 more characters for Annabelle's family that I need to design. Say caravan instead of family since they're not technically related by blood. And then I wanted to do some interactions between the characters I have, because I've done Annabelle and Annabelle interacting with Jack. And then I did this picture of as a new character. And before the Inktober challenge even, I did a picture of Annabelle and Hazel together. So now basically what's left is Newt interacting with them, and Hazel interacting with Jack and Newt, basically. I'm not sure what kind of relationship they'll have as like Newt and Annabelle and Hazel and Jack, and how that all comes together. But that's just how this challenge is going for me. I'm sorry, I'm saying a lot. That's probably really annoying. I'm kind of out from a couple of videos for them to flow a little bit better and just get it all fixed and sound less annoying, because just sitting there listening to it right now, it's really annoying, and I'm so sorry. But back to the challenge. I did this picture of Jack with a crow, because I was thinking about using my stamps on it, and I did, and it looks pretty good, I think. I wasn't happy with the ink again, just because I didn't shake up the bottle like you need to. And it made me very frustrated, so I don't get that much money. Which, by the way, I'm not saying to buy my things or anything like that. I don't even make money from YouTube videos or anything like that. That's not what I mean at all. This is just a tangent all of its own. I don't want you to feel like you have to turn off ad block or anything. I'm not making anything from YouTube, and this is just a tangent. When supplies don't work for me, it makes me very upset because I don't get that much money. And a bottle of this stuff is like $5 from Walmart, and then I just don't go to art stores that often, and I'm trying to save my money. It's very frustrating, I know. This probably sounds stupid to you. And I'm also just trying to save my money for Pokemon Sun and Moon when it comes out next month. Yes. I know that sounds so stupid. I'm so sorry you have to sit through me being stupid. But yeah, it just made me upset with me because it's $5. The challenge for me about interacting with my characters, making them go faster, because usually I'll spend months and months creating a character, giving them names and a story. Even when I first started creating my own characters, because used to I was into warrior cats and junk like that. And you can see some of it still on my channel. I was a Warrior Cats fan, and even when I first started creating characters, I just drew random people, and then it took like a month or two before I actually gave them names and stuck with them, and gave them stories. By that, I mean just like creating stories with them. It just took a while to even give the courage to release them. Like, I think about characters constantly and where they're going, but I would never release anything in the process of what their stories are like until way later on. It takes even longer for me. So I guess it's a good challenge for me just to create characters faster and give them stories faster, because they shouldn't just be sitting around for that long. But anyways, this is the whole point behind it, is just creating characters, giving them stories, and then sticking around the theme for this Inktober for me. I don't know exactly what you guys are doing for Inktober, so feel free to tell me. And I enjoyed that. I love seeing other people's artwork, especially if they're better than me. And I love interacting with other artists. It just gives it us a stronger community, basically. It's just talking to other artists, and it's really nice. So here I'm going along with the final coat of black, and noticing that it's not as dark as I'd like to be because I didn't shake it again, and then I realized I had to go over it, and it looked very streaky, and here I'm going over the streakiness so that way it doesn't look ugly anymore. I want to try something new next time with just not filling it in completely black. I know I like the look of that because it looks, it makes it look more full, I guess. Like, the page looks more complete the more ink there is on there, but there's so much more you can do with textures and stuff with ink. And I know Torianne is focusing on that. I love watching Inktober videos. I've been watching hers. And just, it looks more finished to me when there's a bunch of ink. But maybe I'll try some, making some texture. Because I do like the page I did of the Frankenstein girl and the ghost girl. Because it's really nice and textured. Because paper is just kind of textured in a way. So when I put the colored pencil over it, just came out textured and it looks really nice. But then again, there's just colored pencil and there's different colors. And you can do that with ink too. It's just I haven't gotten around to doing that very much, which sounds bad. So maybe I'll do that for day 6. I hope you've enjoyed this adventure of day 4 and 5. It's just 2 days. Just because I've been struggling a little bit with different things. So, yeah. Tell me how you're doing with your Inktober challenge and what exactly you're doing with your Inktober challenge. You can just be like, oh, I'm doing random things, just stuff I feel like. Because I did that for my very first Inktober challenge, was just characters of mine and then characters I liked and wanted to draw. And just going a day-by-day thing of what I wanted to do. And I think that's a good way to start getting into the Inktober challenge. So here is my stamping ink, and I'm stamping little crows. So I hope you enjoyed this video again, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!